All right, board gaming enthusiasts, what about competitive, player versus player, PvP type board games, or board games where you're out for yourself, but you're going to kind of make some deals along the way? The classic game that we would do this all the time would be Conquest of the Empire, or we'd be playing, I don't know what it's called at this point, but my version was Samurai Swords. I think it's called Shogun now, kind of the GM series games. They were pretty light, but at the time, a lot of components and kind of very approachable to play. We'd make all sorts of deals. Recently, when Game of Thrones hits the table, just lots and lots of deals going on. How do you feel about that? Now, games like that where you're kind of out for yourself and there'll only be one winner and you're going head to head against other players, there are definitive losers and defined winners. Personally, they're kind of fun, but I prefer co-op games where we all win or lose together. Or I prefer a game that's binary, where like Hero Quest. One player, myself, is usually playing the Overlord / Necromancer / GM, and the players are all against me. Because I find games like that, you can have someone play the Necromancer, Overlord monsters that kind of has that player personality. I'm going to try and win, but if you beat me up and you lose, that's okay. I've played a lot of board games. It is very player personality sensitive. Games where you go straight up head to head, my experience is you really need the right crew to do that. You really, really do. And it might not be as cutthroat as Game of Thrones. It could be something like TI, Twilight Imperium, where yes, there's many ways to win, but ultimately it's a space opera and there's going to be one primary winner and deals are going to be made. I find this to be crew dependent because as a pickup game or a game that you lay out at the club and have random people come up. I mean, I love meeting new enthusiasts and friends in the board gaming community, but people interpret things differently depending on how competitive that you get. And there is the chance for stuff to be taken out of context. And I don't want anyone to have bad feelings or have a bad experience or not walk away. I want you to walk away from a board gaming experience with me being like, that was awesome. I can't wait till we play again. And just, we did something cool. We did something amazing on the table. If you have watched a game, recent Game of Thrones that we played, these are guys that I've been gaming with all the time, weekly for years, multiple gaming systems, a lot of D&D crossover, a lot of hanging out. We press each other's buttons. We joke around. We're really kind of trying to be underhanded and all that type of guile and machinations and skullduggery and all that type of stuff because we're best friends. You know, we know if you kind of looked at it without knowing that, you'd be like, these guys are kind of jerks to each other. That doesn't always translate over well to brand new players or players that are a little bit more casual. So I find some of those games challenging at best to bring to a generalized event. In terms of making actual deals at the table or under the table or behind the table or just sometimes with a nod, you know, that could be even more problematic because now players could feel like they're ganging up on each other. On a side note, when we play Shogun and we play other type of games, if I'm with a crew, like we just have like, it's like D&D Thieves' Cant from back in the day. Just a simple look before the game. If we're sitting down is like, dude, we're on the same team. We're totally going to tag team this until the final round. Then we'll go head to head and see who truly wins. But we're the team here, right? The team bro, and we're going to make this happen. From that perspective, I could see someone coming into play that doesn't have that establishment and feeling like, hey, I'm being ganged up on, or you know, being taken advantage of, or these guys are trying to kingmaker something, or whatever terms you want to throw at it. That's why I tend to shy away from these types of games for open play. Your thoughts on competitive games? And I wouldn't call something like Settlers necessarily competitive, but maybe something like that, because I'm doing all the trades with you to make sure you and I get to the top. And the other players are like, we're being edged out. This is not fun. This is not happening. I think it is very, very dependent on the game, on the audience, on the expectations, and the literal group that you're playing with. Your thoughts, competitive games, truly competitive games, one winner among all. Good, bad, nuanced. What is the ideal setup to play those?